I want to say to the American people, on behalf of all of us here, we hear you. We know the challenges you're facing. We know that there's a lot going on in our country, domestically and abroad, and we are ready to get to work again to solve those problems, and we will. Our mission here is to serve you well.
That is Speaker Mike Johnson of Louisiana. He spoke from the Speaker's chair moments after being elected.
While his name was being installed over the Speaker's office back in the House chamber, he was talking about his family, and he really was introducing himself to the country since he's relatively unknown. But he started his speech by thanking the leader of the Democrats, Representative Hakim Jeff.
I do look forward to working with you on behalf of the American people. I know we see things from very different points of view, but I know that in your heart you love and care about this country and you want to do what's right. And so we're going to find common ground there.
After that, he got into all the major issues he wants to tackle as Speaker. The first, according to him, is to restore the trust that he says has been lost between the House of Representatives and the American people.
And we have a challenge before us right now to rebuild and restore that trust. This is a beautiful country. It's the beauty of America that allows a firefighter's kid like me to come here and serve in this sacred chamber where great men and women have served. We stand at a very dangerous time. I'm stating the obvious. We all know that. The world is in turmoil. But a strong America is good for the entire world.
Beyond that, he spoke about bringing a resolution to the floor immediately to support Israel. He talked about tackling the issues at our country's southern border and the fentanyl crisis. But he spent a lot of time talking about inflation and the cost of living. He believes one of the main contributors to that inflation is government spending, which he says has been a big contributor to the $33.6 trillion of national debt we're sitting on. He said it is critically important to cut that government spending ASAP.
It's unsustainable. We have to get the country back on track. Now, we know this is not going to be an easy task, and tough decisions will have to be made. But the consequences, if we don't act now, are unbearable. We have a duty to the American people to explain this to them so they understand it well.
Now, those cuts could include programs or services that you rely on. And the decisions about what stays and what's going to go are all going to happen like right now, because the House has less than 3 weeks to determine government spending before it all shuts down on November 17th. Speaker Johnson says there may be some compromises that they can make with Democrats about that spending, but in the end, he says Republicans are not going to back down.
We're going to fight. We're going to fight vigorously over our core principles because they're at odds a lot of times now in this modern era. We have to sacrifice sometimes our preferences because that's what's necessary in a legislative body. But we will defend our core principles to the end.
He ended his speech by making a pledge to the Democrats and the Republicans in the chamber and to the people of this country.
My office is going to be known for trust and transparency and accountability, for good stewardship of the people's treasure, for the honesty and integrity that is incumbent upon us, all of us, here in the people's house. Our system of government is not a perfect system. It's got a lot of challenges, but it is still the best one in the world, and we have an opportunity to preserve it.